Alrighty, what's up, everybody? My peeps, what's going on, you sexy bitches? It is I, once again, Peter Joseph here for video number 2 on your Friday night, November the 1st, 2024. Thank you, as always, for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you all for watching once again. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there. You know where it is, in the description box on this channel and all my other channels. Show you love support. Leave a comment on the video or any one of my videos, but don't, like I said, don't leave stupid comments because you will get blocked. And if you don't like that, then go cry to your mama, little bitch. And that's all I can say about that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to hit that bell for more. And if you're new here, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. You grab that cold one, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If not, get the fuck out. And that's all I gotta say about that. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that good shit. And if you're new, welcome. We love you. And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, check out my my Crown Jewel 6 predictions on the Shadow Slayer 2.0 channel. Link will be down below in the gobbledygook after the video. So check it out on time, on cue. Man, that's pretty much it. Alright, video number 2 on your Friday night. We got SmackDown coming up in a little bit. Tate from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The go-home show before tomorrow afternoon, not tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, from the land of sand in Saudi Arabia. And, we got that. So it should be a good show tonight. And we got Rampage as well, but nobody cares about that. Also, I forgot to mention in my last video, AEW won the ratings war this week. 628,000 views. NXT went way down. 500, what did it get? 500, it was 575, 581, somewhere around in that realm. Wow. Well, obviously, because of game 3 of the, game 4 of the Yankee series. No, I was right, game 3. I forget. Game 3 of 4 of the World Series with the Yankees and the Dodgers. Dodgers had that parade today. It was so great to see Ice Cube on the field with Dave Roberts singing, today was a good day. Good shit. Good shit. Yankee fans are still, they're checking themselves into rehab right now. Hope you stay there. Sucks being a Yankee fan, huh? That horrible 5th inning will be in Yankee fans' minds for eons to come. Forever, basically. That's what happens when you play horrible defense and Judgy Wudgy not taking his voice and catching that goddamn ball. And Rizzo and Garrett Cole with a brain fart. You can't do that against a great Dodgers team. You give them one or two extra outs, they're gonna annihilate you. Met fans know that, huh? But I digress. And yeah, the Mets made some boring as fuck deals the last 2 days. Boring as fuck pitchers like, who? And free agency started pretty much last night and going into today. Jorge Soler went to, where did he go? He went to the Angels. I don't know about that deal, but okay. That's probably one of the major free agent, well, not so major, but one of the big deals so far in free agency. But that hot stove is going to get red hot as we go into this month, going into December, with the winter meetings, and in January, maybe in February. We see where Soto goes, where Pete Alonso goes. Those are the big 2 free agents next to Corbin Burns. I hope all 3 of them Soto and Burns become Mets, and we re-sign Pete to a huge deal. But we'll see what happens between now and the end of February. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on video number 2 on your Friday night, it is time for your late and out-of-date AEW Dynamite! thoughts. My thoughts on AEW Dynamite for this past Wednesday night show, October the 30th, 2024. And we are emanating from the Wolfstein. Or Steen. Really, Wolfstein, but it's pronounced Wolfstein. Wolfenstein? No. Great game, by the way. The Wolfstein Center in the shithole city of Cleveland, Ohio. The home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame. That everybody should go and piss on. Pretty much. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so they build this as Fright Night. Not Fight Night, but Fright Night, because it was All Hallows Eve, the Halloween show for AEW, and, wasn't a bad show, per se. But let's get into it. Our commentary team this past Wednesday was the man behind the mask. It's Halloween. He's always wearing a mask. It's Excalibur. We got Daddy Magic, Matt Maynard. If you want to know what makes his nipples hard, you can go ask him yourself. Or if he still does his podcast. And the man himself, the man who doesn't need to wear a costume, because he's originally made and he's custom made. He's original. He's an OG. He's my good friend and yours, hopefully, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or as Jericho would call him, Tony Schiavone. And we move on with that. Alright, so let's open up this big bag of good stuff. Alright, so we open up with a special video previewing the night. We got a little spooky horror theme. The ramp was very short, with a little Halloween decor on it. I thought it was nice. Anyway, and then we go to Freshly Squeezed. Actually, before we get to him, we get a video about the Death Riders, the former Blackpool Cuck Club of Jon Moxley, the AEW champion, Marina Shafir, Claudio Castagnoli, the Swiss Superman, the Bastard Pac, and everybody's favorite friend and yours. Well, he doesn't have any friends, because William Udah's the type of guy that only has one friend, it's himself. But anyway, we got that, the Trios Champions. So the video talks about Moxley building this company, or basically AEW. And then, we see Orange Cassidy, Freshly Squeezed Orange Juice, and he is pissed! He comes out all in black once again, except for his jeans. So he comes out, says, "Cut the fucking tape!" Basically, he doesn't say cut the music, but cut the tape. So, Cass is like, "This is not who I am." Well, last week I saw my friends, my best friend Chucky T's neck get crushed by a steel chair. I was surrounded by people who shouldn't have even been in the ring. You know, the Dark Order, Daniel Garcia, Private Party, a whole bunch of people shouldn't have been there. Those people were very young because I came up in AEW and I'm an OG, and I was surrounded pretty much by the future of AEW. They were in grave danger because of people like Moxley. And he's like, Mox, he's telling everybody, Moxley doesn't need AEW, but I do. I need AEW. I need this job because I need to pay money. I need to pay my bills. And without me, there is nothing. There's none of this. There's none of you. There's none of, no best friends and all shit like that. So, I know what I gotta do. So, I need to cut the head off the snake. Make sure nobody else gets hurt. So, he takes off his glasses. Gets a little bit serious for a minute, like Lion Storm would say. And he issues a world title challenge to Moxley. He's like, Mox, let me know. I'm not a hard man to find. Freshly Squeezed Orange Juice Orange Cassidy, the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I don't need, and I still don't need a catchphrase, technically. And that's it. And then Moxley comes out, accepts the challenge. So I think we're gonna get that at Full Gear. But he says what he always says. I'm doing this for the greater good. And then they beat up William Udah, and Mox like, get out here, Cassidy, if you care about your friend so much, get out here. And it was all a trap, a ruse, shenanigans, chicanery. So Orange Cassidy comes out to save William Udah, but it was all a ruse. And then all of them continue to start beating up Orange Cassidy, even though William Yuta was kind of like, I don't want to do this. But anyway, they beat up Orange Cassidy, then the Dark Order show up, Private Party, I think Adam Cole, baby, showed up. We'll talk about him in a minute. Pretty much almost everybody in the locker room showed up, and, started beating down the Blackpool Cup Club. They all went to the, left the arena and everything. Well, they didn't leave the arena per se, but they left the, ringside area. But they weren't done, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So Cassidy, Moxley, for the title, most likely at Full Gear, and we'll talk about that later. But it was a pretty good segment, and that's all I gotta say about that. Moving on. Alright, then we go to the back with the incomparable Renee Paquette, not dressed up, surprisingly. Then we see the TBS champion and the New Japan Strong Women's champion, the CEO herself, Miss Mercedes Moné. Great. And Camille Brickhouse. They're there. Basically, Mercedes says Camille isn't going to need luck against her opponent, Chris Statlander, who dressed up as the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, I thought that was pretty nice. And then Swerve at the end of the night when he was facing Shelton Benjamin, dressed up as Captain Ranger, Captain Roger, or some weird cosplay he was dressed up as. It's like, what the fuck are you dressed up as? Well, I'm dressed up as myself. That's what I went as last night. I mean, I didn't really... I went out to a Halloween party and I dressed as myself. I didn't need to dress up. Rosa didn't dress up either, so it was like... I dressed up as a wrestling fan. And Rosa was my wench. But, but I digress on that. Moving on. But it was a great party. We had fun. That's all that matters. Moving on. Alright. Then we go to our first official match. Adam Cole! Baby! First official match back in over a year. Taking on the House of Blocks. Buddy Matthews, Buddy Murphy. This was great match. A little bit of storytelling in it. Back and forth they went. Buddy Murphy was going right at that shattered ankle of Adam Cole's. Which gets sent into the steps. Doc Samson and the referee were checking on Adam Cole. Cole's like, I think it's broken again. And they basically, Doc Samson was about to take him to to the back into the trainer's room. Cole's like, oh no, Cole's hurt again. Oh, just kick back. But Buddy Matt's like, no, we ain't having it like that. So he basically mocks Adam Cole as the new Adam Cole is a little brittle bitch. So Cole's like, oh, what did you say? So he just limps back to the ring. They continue the match, which I'm surprised they actually continued it. Cole hits back-to-back super kicks. Goes for the last shot. Leg strike, but his leg and knee gave out. Buddy Matthews hits a stomp a couple of times, and Adam Cole, I don't know how he kicked out of that. But Adam Cole wins the match after a super kick, then not one, but two Panama City Sunrises, one on the floor. Ow! Then he sets up for the last shot, otherwise known as the boom! 1, 2, 3 in exactly 15 and a half minutes. Adam Cole, baby, gets his first win back from injury. You gotta love it. First win in that best kind of, well, not best of three. Who can get 3 wins the fastest between him and this guy, Roddy! So we'll see what happens with that. Match was great. Loved it. After the match, we get a code of honor, something you don't see these days. Then the lights go out, and I'm like, uh-oh, the House of Black are gonna show up. They come back on, instead of Buddy Matthews and Adam Cole, code of honor, we get Adam Cole and Malachi Black. Ah! Instead, they're shaking hands. I was like, oh man, this feels like NXT TakeOver Brooklyn all over again. Whenever they fought. I remember that feud. It was violent. that street. Remember that match? They had a street fight, and they were using everything but the kitchen sink to beat the fuck out of each other. And Malachi Black beat Adam Cole, sadly. So next week, this coming Wednesday night, match number 2 for Adam Cole against Malachi Black, and it is going to be epic. I can't wait for that. We got that. And then we see Christopher Daniels with Private Party going after the AEW tag belts against the Bucks. We'll get to that epic match in a minute. Just reiterates and gives him a pep talk, says you really want to do this. You know if you lose, you're no longer a tag team, no loopholes, nothing like that. So Private Party's like, well, we got this. And boy, did they have an epic match with the Bucks. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Alright, after that, we go to Adam Cole in the trainer's room with Roddy and I'm Matt Taven. If you don't like Matt Taven, you're Melvin. And the man that punches people in the dick and gives him a power driver, Mr. Michael Kanellis Bennett. Prayers still go up to Maria Kanellis. Back home, recovering. She's doing a little bit better now. That's all that matters. Speedy recovery for the so-called First Lady of Professional Wrestling. Even though it's Miss Elizabeth. It's just a story for a long time. Moving on. Alright, so Cole says says that his ankle is fine. He's ready for Malachi Black next week. Then he goes on a humongous rant about how MJF betrayed a bunch of people. You know, Roddy and the Kingdom included. He says, I don't need you, MJF. I need the fans. You think, Chugs? Right? Anyway, well, MJF only cares about one person. That's himself. And yeah, that was pretty much the same promo Orange Cassidy said. Says, I don't need you. I need the fans. I need AEW, and you're nothing. I'm like, who wrote both these promos? I need this company. I don't know. We move on. All right. Then we had Kyle Fletcher come out with Don Callis. Fletcher then calls out Will Oceanspray, who doesn't come out because he's a coward, in Kyle Fletcher's words. But instead of Will Oceanspray, we get the music of United Empire and his former tag team partner, we haven't seen him in a year because of a shoulder injury, Mark Davis. He comes out, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing around here? Or, you know, what's with the buzz cut? Why are you with Don Callis? He says, we used to be part of an empire, former IWGP tag team champions, among other things. I think there were Ring of Honor tag team champions. I could be wrong on that, but anyway. Fletcher, but it's like, we used to be part of the United Empire, but you betrayed everyone. Fletcher says that Davis is going to have to make a hard decision. He said hard. But Fletcher has no problem cutting off the past. And then Davis just, like, leaves. Like, kick his ass, come on! So we'll see what happens with that. Probably get a Fletcher... I think we're going to get Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis match coming up soon. See what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, then we go backstage with the Hangman, Adam Page, about to do some cowboy shit. Talks about his history with Jay White, what we saw at Wrestle Dream, when Jay White surprisingly won that match. Anyway, and how they fought each other so many, many times. Hangman's like, I know what you're going to do, but, you know, Page could do anything in their match at Full Gear, which I think is their second or third match. And he's like, he says, I'll go as far as burn your house down. You arsonist! So Adam Page went from doing some cowboy shit to pretty much committing arson. Not once, he might do it twice, who knows? He burnt down Swerve's house. Almost killed the guy, too, shit. He almost committed arson and murder. And there you go. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then, like I said, Moxley, with the whole thing with Wheeler Yuta, the trap that was set. Top Flight and Andretti come out for the actual save. Then the Bucks come out, though. The Young Bucks. Can't call them Cobra Bucks anymore. The Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, they come out and just stare, waiting for their tag team title match against Private Party, who was already out at ringside. And that's it. Look at that. So then we go to the AEW tag team belts. The Bucks versus Private Party felt like any match they've had in their history in the Indies from the first official Dynamite back 5 years ago when Private Party beat the Bucks in the first round of the tag team tournament, shocking everybody, breaking brackets and everything. This was epic. Isaiah Cassidy gets busted wide open as he gets sent into the steps and everything. And then basically Mark Quinn was getting the crap beat out of him. Okada, the Continental Breakfast IHOP Denny's champion, he comes out, gives Mark Quinn a tombstone on the stage. Ouch. Then the Bucks hit their version of rolling down the street, sipping endo, sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. That's what we always say. Snoop Diggity Dog. Or, as somebody else used to say, Snoopy Dog Dog. But I digress. And then we get a super kick party with the pumps, the shoes and everything. They get a deal for all of that on Isaiah Cassidy, who's basically kicking out of everything but the kitchen sink. I mean, he kicked out of the EVP trigger on the second attempt. He rolls up Nicholas Jackson, who had a separated shoulder coming into the match. That's not good. Small package and near fall. Then the EVP trigger hits for the Bucks for another near fall. V-trigger by Matthew into a one-winged angel. Oh, Kenny's like, what the fuck? You know, gets a near fall. Then Mark Quinn had to make the save just in the nick of time. And then Isaiah Cassidy gets crotched. Crotches Nick on top. Then Private Party hits Gin and Juice. 1, 2, 3. We have new AEW Tag Team Champions in Private Party. Took them 5 fucking years to do it, but well deserved. A 10-minute match. Match was fucking great. And now the Bucks. So we see them leaving. We saw him in the locker room as Jack Perry got cornered by Daniel Garcia. Something about, I think he's going for the TNT title. He says, well, the Bucks lost, and now you're going to lose your belt at Full Gear, most likely. So then Garcia leaves. Jack Perry goes into the Elite locker room, and we see the Bucks and that idiot Brandon Cutler kind of like getting rid of some papers, like shredding stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? And then later in the night, we saw the Bucks leaving the arena. Christopher Daniels was like, hey, where you going? We need you here against the, we need you here to take care of the Blackpool Cup Club and everything. Where you going? And they say, oh, if you need us, we're going to work from home. We don't need this company anymore. It's in your hands there, Christopher Daniels. I'm like, okay. And then they leave in their little van, basically. And then Brandon Cutler has a whole bunch of merchandise and papers. He comes and says, hey, don't forget about me! And then he gets destroyed by the Blackpool Cup Club. Daniels gets destroyed as well. And then Claudio breaks his wrist, even though he never hit him with a ball-peen hammer. If you look closely, he didn't hit him fully on the wrist. But Brandon, sold it like, my wrist! Ah! So we got that. So bye-bye Brandon Cutler. Not that we care, but anybody really care about Brandon Cutler these days? Haven't done many BTOs lately. I wonder why, because the show is not that great. Hey, Sammy Garfield, the Spanish God, still does his vlog every once in a while. We need to bring back BTE. I'm sorry to say it. You need BTE back. We do. Even if the Bucks don't want to do it anymore, we need it back. So flood the Bucks Twitter page and their Instagram page, their social media pages, whatever you can do, smoke signals, anything you can do. Tell the Bucks to bring back BTE, please. And that's it. All right, so Private Party gets the AEW tag belts in an epic match. Congrats to them. They deserve it. And then Moxley. Orange Cassidy gets is official for Full Gear for the AEW World Title. And then we have Jamie Hayter, Becky Lynch, Edge 2.0 and Penelope Ford in the back. They've agreed not to get physical before their match next week. Penelope says people have forgotten who she is. But Jamie Hayter says this is all over something that happened 2 years ago. And I'm fine with kicking your ass next week. We'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, then we got the Ring of Honor champion, two-time champion himself, Mr. Reading Rainbow himself. Hi guys! Hi guys! It's Chris Jericho and Big Cass and Brian Keith, the Bad Apple. So they brag about Jericho's big, huge win over Mark Briscoe in that epic ladder war match. Jericho wins thanks to Big Cass and Brian Keith, of course. So he is now the Nueve, and the two-time Ring of Honor World Champ. So Jericho brags about winning the belt, getting 4 stars! Not 5 there, Meltzer? 4 stars from Dave Meltzer. Then he continues to promote carrying Terrifier 3 to the top of the box office, surprisingly. A horror movie. A horror movie finally gets number 1 at the box office. When was the last time we saw that? Anyway, so Jericho's like, I'm going to take the Ring of Honor title to new heights. I wonder what that could mean. Shockwave? We'll see. So he's like, sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the Nueve's title reign, however long that lasts. And that's it. Move on. Alright, then we get a video on Anna Jay, the woman with a fat ass and a mean attitude. Going up against Mariah May. Talk about that later. Let's talk about it another time. And then we get Camille Brickhouse with Mercedes Moné at ringside taking on Chris Statlander. This wasn't great at all. Under 6.5 minutes. Mercedes got involved a little bit, not too much, but in the end, Statlander hits Wednesday Night Fever for the win to beat Camille, and then that really did not sit well with Mercedes Moné, who basically told Camille to get out of here, go to the back. Camille looked like shit, and then Mercedes takes out Chris Statlander with the Moneymaker, and that's it. So I think we're going to eventually get at Full Gear for maybe both belts, Statlander and Mercedes Moné. I would love to see Chris Statlander win those belts, but we'll see. Moving on. Alright, then we hear from Christian Cage, and the family, basically. I think we saw Kip Sabian there. Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. She's there as well, looking hot as always. And Nick fucking Wayne. They're there. Christian promises to deal with Sutton for the Man. Well, can't bring him in, but Hook, ladies and gentlemen. So he's going to talk to Hook next week. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, after that, we go to the back with Mark Briscoe, the former Ring of Honor World Champion. He's there with Tomohiro Ishii, not Ishii, it's Ishii, and Kyle O'Reilly, Auto Parts. So they're in the back. So Mark's pissed off about losing the Ring of Honor title back to Jericho, but he's not sure why Jericho doesn't care about his own health. And word of the day is instability, because Jericho brought up his brother, Jay Briscoe. Once again, you need to stop that, Jericho. Seriously. Anyway, so he makes a challenge for next week's Dynamite, a 6-person tag match, but not any ordinary 6-man tag team match. This is going to be under Fight Without Honor rules, which means anything goes. And I think we might see some blood next week. But we'll see what happens with that. Surprisingly, they're not doing this on Ring of Honor TV. Sorry, Ring of Horror TV. And speaking of that, they had an actual Ring of Horror match for the AEW Women's title. We had the Forever Champion Athena taking on my girl right over there. You can see her right there. Abaddon. Well, didn't. Spoiler, Abaddon did not win the belt. Fuck! That did not sit well with me in the prophecy at all. At all. That's all I gotta say about that. Moving on. Alright, then we go to the main event. Swerve with Prince Nana, my good friend. And against Shelton Benjamin with MVP. pretty decent match. Swerve gets the win after the Swerve stomp in a little over 14 and a half minutes. So Swerve gets the win. I didn't think he was going to win, but he won the match. And then after the match, he's mocking MVP. MVP's on his phone, calls somebody, and I'm like, is it who I think it is? It is Bobby Lashley makes his epic AEW debut, beats the shit out of him, Shelton, and MVP beat the fuck out of Swerve and Prince Nana. Bobby Lashley puts Swerve in the Hurt Lock, and then MVP gets back on the mic and says, "Business is now open." Basically, he says, "We're back in business." So the Hurt Business is back, but they're not going to be called that. They're going to be called the Hurt Syndicate. So I loved Bobby Lashley debuting. I don't know. I think we're going to see Bobby Lashley and Swerve at Full Gear. And we'll see what happens with that. Maybe a tag team match. I don't know. Well, we'll see. That's that. Alright, guys. So, Dynamite was pretty good. I gave it a 7.25 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment or sorry about that. Or a video reply if you wish. Whatever you want to do. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to this channel, and my other channels as well. Hit the bell, follow me on social media, and all that good shit. And that's it. Alright, guys, enjoy SmackDown. I'll be on Twitter live tweeting the show, as always, and Rampage later tonight as well. I will be back later tonight, probably after Rampage, with a little quickie video about Baron Corbin and Indy Hartwell. They're released today. And then we'll get to SmackDown and Rampage tonight, because we're not going to do it tomorrow, because I already, because Crown Jewel's tomorrow, and I want to kind of bridge that into Crown Jewel. But we'll do TNA, Ring of Honor, if not tomorrow night, probably Sunday, because Collision's tomorrow night. We'll do Collision probably tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. Well, it's going to depend. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, enjoy SmackDown tonight and Rampage, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Alright, guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, if you're not down with that, well, me, Abaddon, and the rest of the prophecy, we got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Peace, bitches.